So we are live.
We are live. Namaste, everyone who's joining us here live on Saptarishis Astrology YouTube channel. I am here with my good friend and colleague, Varun. We are here to do live Darbar today for astrological community. We will be answering many questions sent in from the astrological community, looking at various natal chart and dasha period to answer all of your queries for how to improve our planetary karma together. Varun and I are so excited today.
Right, sir. And this is brought to you by your favorite channel, Saptarishis Astrology. And today we have invited Ksanati sir from Sunil Johnson's initiative. And today we'll be answering specifically those charts that you have posted for us on our community forum.
Yes.
So, without wasting time, I'll tell you the deal. We will ask the name of the native. I'll ask the name of the native. If the native is present, just send a hi or a hello there and we will start discussing. Okay. So, we have got around 20 people right now watching us. Abhishek Basu, hi. Vicky Das, hello. Kushwan Jolly, namaste. Pushpinder Singh Bhatti, hello. Before we start this session, I would request Ksanati sir
Yes.
to pray. Let's pray to the Lord Ganesha and Lord Shiva.
Yes, my brother.
So that our predictions or Ksanati sir's predictions come true and the native is blessed.
Amen. Yes, let's start with a few different chants. We'll do chant to Lord Ganesha, chant to Saraswati Mata, chant to the eternal Guru, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and also because today is Friday, which is ruled by Lord Shukraya Ji, we do traditional Shukraya mantra. And then I do quick chant towards my Guru, Amritananda Mayima, Amaji, the hugging saint from Kerala, South India. So Varunji, will you join me for 3 Om?
Om.
Om Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinamu Pamastamam Jaishtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspatana Srinbanu Tivihi Siddhasadanam Vakratandaya Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Siddhi Vidhi Shakti Sahitam Shriman Mahaganati Pataye Namo Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Tavala Yashurvavasravrata Ya Vina Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shweta Padmasana Ya Brahma Chuta Shankara Prabhutir Vihir Devai Sada Vandita Saman Batu Saraswati Bhagavati Vishesha Jaja Paho Om Guru Brahman Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruvai Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Tasmai Sri Guruvai Namaha. Om Hima Kunda Minalabam Daichanam Paramam Guru Sarva Shastra Pravaktaram Bhargavam Paramam Yaham Hima Kunda Minalabam Daichanam Paramam Guru Sarva Shastra Pravaktaram Bhargavam Pranamam Yaham Hima Kundam Nalabam Aikanam Paramam Guru Sarva Shastra Pravaktaram Bhargavam Pranamam Yaham. Om Dram Dream Drom Saha Shukraya Nama. Om Dram Dream Dram Saha Shukraya Nama. Om Dram Dream Dram Saha Shukraya Nama. Om Dram Dream Dram Saha Shukraya Nama. Om Twameva Matacha Pita Twameva Twameva Bandhuja Saka Twameva Twameva Veja Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Amriteshware Mama Twameva Sarvam Amriteshware Mama Twameva Sarvam Amriteshware Namaha. Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. I feel the Graha and Devas are with us now.
So should we start with the first chart, sir?
Yes, I'd like to ask if a Sunita Chetwani is available.
I am not seeing her yet.
Okay, then we shall move.
Yeah, I'll just ask again because I had put in through Sunita Chetwani ji. You are the first to ask us a query. If you are present, please put it in the chat that you are present. Because those who are not present, as a personal request, we will not take up their chart, though things have been done.
Varun,
Second,
yes.
sir, we will move to the second because I have just seen Lata Bagdi present. Her
Great.
chart is number 2.
Perfect.
Sir, her date of birth is 22nd May 1977, 4:30 p.m. Kolkata, and she had asked a query about her spiritual progress in life.
Wonderful. So I shall begin to answer now.
Yes, please, sir.
Namaste, Lata Ji. It's such a blessing to have you here. Thank you for your query. I always find it inspiring when someone wants to focus on their spiritual progress, their spiritual evolution in their life, because in a world of the Kali Yuga, we like to focus on material. So whenever there's question of focus on spiritual life, I have particular appreciation of this. First thing I want to say are some aspect from your Lagnesh. First thing we notice is your Pisces Lagna. Pisces Lagna has strong Dharma. The strong Dharma is to have faith. The strong Dharma is to have belief. And that belief or faith, when it comes to Dharma of Pisces, is in something which is greater than yourself. We can call this God. We can call this the universe. We can call this the Paramatman. We can call this Purusha and Prakriti. But there is strong dharmic evolutional aspect when the Pisces Lagna, to have faith, to have belief, It's something that is greater than yourself. When this is such a strong part of the Dharma, then this influences strong spiritual progress in life, in which huge evolutionary aspect of life is what can I believe in, which is greater than me. Also, another strong karma or dharma of Pisces Lagna is to be a bridge between heaven and earth, to be a bridge between the heavenly celestial Akash and the earthly realm. But that basically, on a simple translation, mean you have to live in balance with part of your connection to the spiritual world and part of your connection to the material world, because the dharma of the Pisces Lagna is to be the bridge between two different places. So when we look at your spiritual progress, we look at believing in something greater than yourself, but we also are looking at a balance in which you are devoted towards a spiritual level, but also have a relationship to the material world and the work and the career and the success. Now, another very interesting point is that you have Ketu in Lagna at 21 degrees. I believe it's Revati Nakshatra. When you have Ketu in Lagna, Ketu is Moksha Karaka. Not everyone who has Ketu in Lagna has spiritual oriented life, but everyone which has Ketu in Lagna has some type of higher purpose, has some type of higher calling. But when Ketu is in Pisces, it usually has strong spiritual signification, even strong religious signification. But as Ketu is Moksha Karaka, this signifies that your spiritual evolution is deeply connected to this concept of moksha. This is part of your spiritual progress in life. This is part of your spiritual dharma to get closer to moksha. Now, when I say about moksha, we're talking about the preparation for death, the preparation for the transition from this life to the next realm, to the next transition, to the next transformation. Death is not something we are supposed to fear. Death is not something we are supposed to think is a negative thing. Death is something that is a positive transition from one dimension to the next. This is a strong aspect of your spiritual progress, to come to the peace, to come to the terms that death is not something to be afraid of, but rather it is something to be welcomed as we transition to a higher state of consciousness. Also, as Moksha Karaka is described to use our spiritual progress and our enlightenment throughout this lifetime. That has to do strongly with non-attachment. That has to do strongly with loss. That has to do strongly with surrender. So when moksha is strong influence, it can be very positive spiritually, but very challenging materially, especially because you evolve this surrender, letting go, non-attachment. When K2 is strong influence in the life, your spiritual progress mean everything that you are attached to will leave your life. Everything that is not in alignment with your highest spiritual evolution, it will be taken away from you. In very many different ways, your chart indicate profound spiritual progress. Also, because K2 is in Lagna, one more point, then we will move on to other questions. But because K2 is in Lagna, K2 is called the giver of omen or the giver of obstacles. Oftentimes, when there is K2 in Lagna, life can have many obstacles, but that is because K2 is a force of the universe which is radically trying to transform and reorganize our lives in alignment with our highest spiritual potential. This transformation towards our highest spiritual potential means that if something is getting in the way of our spiritual progress, if something is getting in the way of our spiritual potential, if something is getting in the way of our spiritual growth, then K2 will take it away. Sometimes K2 can even be like a destroyer. That is why many people also consider K2 to be like demon, but also that demon is secretly guardian angel, because that guardian angel is trying to put you in alignment with your highest spiritual progress. But that means that there will be many obstacles in your life, which you will have to look at those obstacles in order to transform to a higher spiritual progress. There's an analogy that I like to use to describe this situation. Let's say that you're driving down a road, and all of a sudden you come upon big sign in the middle of the street. This is like K2, in which it will give your life an obstacle. You are driving down road, but then you can no longer drive down that road anymore because there is big sign. If you do not see omen, if you do not pay attention, if you do not believe in something greater than yourself, if you do not notice the signs of the universe, then many people are likely to just go around the sign. In other words, they don't look at the sign, they just see sign as obstacle and they go around the sign. However, if you were to see that obstacle as a suggestion from the universe, as an omen, you will see that it is pointing you in a new direction, that you will see that it is pointing you in a better direction. And let's say you're looking at the sign, you will see that there is an arrow on the sign, and the arrow is pointing to the right, or the arrow is pointing to the left. So when you see obstacle as an omen, it puts you in positive direction. That is part of your spiritual growth. But you cannot see an obstacle only as an obstacle. It is suggestion from the universe because of a transformation or change that K2 is helping facilitate. Thank you, Lataji.
So next question comes from Khushwant Jolly. It's it's in sir, it's 25.
Okay, 25.
Its date of birth is 27th July 91. Place is New Delhi. Time is 17:55. Sir, his question is, he is right now doing LLB, but have developed interest in astrology.
What does LLB stand for, Varunji?
So that is legal. He is basically a lawyer by profession.
I understand. Thank you.
LLB is lawyer.
Thank you. Please.
He has done a degree in law, so he's a lawyer by profession now, and he has started getting interest in astrology. And his question is, what will be his perfect profession? And he has an inhibition, that is Ketu is in the 7th house. So he has a feeling that if he gets married, he may land up in the divorce.
Yes.
Or is it harmful for business? So your comments and your kind views.
Namaste, Kushanchi. I like your question. I like that we just look at K2 Lagna, and now we're looking at Rahu Lagna. So we're looking at a very aspecting chart right now. No coincidence there. As you mentioned, you're a lawyer. You have much interest in astrology. You have Rahu Lagna, very strong in Sagittarius at 25 degrees. This has strong influence over your evolution throughout your lifetime. As I see that you are currently at the end of your Rahu Mahadasha, your Rahu Mahadasha will end in the 2020. One of the things which Rahu represent is the full realization of our mystical or occult potential. Rahu contains Siddhi, which is the fullest manifestation of your spiritual potential. And Rahu has strong interest in that which is esoteric. Rahu has strong interest in that which is occult. When you have strong Rahu in Lagna, you have certain outside of the box, unique, mystical, or esoteric interest from your past lifetime, which you start in the past lifetime, but you did not finish. So Rahu represent our unfinished business as far as our mystical path, as far as our esoteric path, as far as our occult path. So then you come in this lifetime with a strong affinity to experience the esoteric, the mystical, and the occult. Now, as you mentioned, you are a lawyer. Sagittarius Lagna is very strong for law. Sagittarius has great indication for law. Also, ninth sign signify ninth house, and you have 4 different planets in ninth house. So it is very clear to me why you are a lawyer. Sagittarius Lagna with 4 planets in ninth house. That include Mars, that include Venus, that include Mercury, and that include Gulika. So we're looking at a strong moral, ethical, legal aspect. This is why you have gifts in morality, ethics, and law. This is why you have a special indication for justice, for freedom, for fairness, for equality. All of these things are supportive for your path. However, They do not satisfy your unfinished Rahu karma from your past lifetime. And you are in the Mahadasha of Rahu. So you are meant to finish what you started. This means there will be area of esoteric, occult, mystical energy, which you will be attracted to during your Rahu Mahadasha. It sounds like that has been coming through form of astrology. Rahu and astrology have very strong connection. Even though Rahu Lagna can have a hard time seeing their own future, there is no better individual for seeing the future of others. This has an incredible intuitive gift. It's just not to be used for yourself. It's used to benefit others. So this is why Rahu Lagna also very good at astrology, because they can help carve out the path for others. It might be hard for them to see their own futures, but they are strongly gifted in their intuitive ability to see other individual futures. So we're looking at this strong craving, unfinished business, unfinished soul bucket list for you to reach your full mystical, spiritual, or esoteric potential. And your Rahu Dasha is coming to an end. But also your Jupiter exalted conjunction with Surya. So we're looking at a Guru Surya Yoga with an exaltation of Jupiter. This show an incredible amount of past lifetime wisdom in the mystical, in the esoteric, in the spiritual. Whenever we are born, we forget our past lifetime wisdom. But then if we start to study it again, it is like something we remember. My intuition after looking at your chart is when you study astrology, not some things you will be learning new. But for your soul, also much of it is like remembering something which your soul already know, because it is your sanskar, it is your soul impression, it is your past lifetime to focus on mystical. With this Jupiter-Surya combination in 8th house, it might show strong inclinations, not just towards Jyotish, but also Ayurveda, also yoga, also Vastu. So we're looking at all of the Vedic sciences being potentially strong for you. So when we look at what the perfect profession would be for you, law is very strong. It's a very good profession for you. You have Virgo energy in the 10th house, and you have Mercury in the 9th house. So this shows strong intellectual energy part of career. This also shows it's about making things better, reducing weaknesses, improving strength. So this can be done in terms of a good argument in law. It can also be done to improve planetary karma for astrology. In other words, it's not like law is bad career for you. It's not like astrology is better career for you. But when you're looking, it just satisfies different energies in your chart. But your Rahu has not been completely satisfied. So I highly encourage you to devote yourself into the study of either astrology, yoga, Ayurveda. It sounds like Jyotish is the one which resonate with you the most. So I highly encourage you to devote yourself to that science as much as possible. Now to address your second question, which is about K2 in 7th house, and there is some fear of marriage if there will be divorce. K2 in 7th house does not necessarily indicate divorce. One of the strongest thing of K2 in 7th house is that you have moksha karaka, which is the moksha position in the 7th house of marriage. This indicates that when we're looking at compatibility of marriage, it is very compatible for you to have a partner who has not codependency, who not has unhealthy attachment. Because with K2 in the 7th house, it is non-attachment. So this is always what I say for people with K2 in 7th house. The easy road, because your karma in 7th house of marriage, the easy road is to not get married. In other words, it is very easy to not be attached to something you have no devotion to. In other words, it's easier to not worry about non-attachment when you are not in marriage. And part of the reason this is because when Rahu in Lagna and K2 in 7th house, It show in your past lifetime, you put other people ahead of yourself, and actually you put your partner ahead of yourself. This means when it comes to doing what you wanted to do, accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish, sometimes you would sacrifice that for your partner. So that is why you have unfinished business from your past lifetime. So that is why you come back in this lifetime with what I call healthy selfishness. This is not negative selfishness. This is positive selfishness, because you have certain goal, you have certain task, you have certain experience that you are meant to experience in this lifetime, and you are not to let get anyone in the way of that. So this is also very compatible type of partner who lets you be independent, type of partner who does not try to control where you are and who you spend your time with. But as I mentioned, the easy road is to not even get involved in the marriage. Where the real work is, where the greatest spiritual evolution is to get married, but then practice not attachment. To get married, but then practice not dependency. So it's not that K2 in 7th house will cause divorce. It will just cause separation if the two people are not in alignment with your spirit, if your partner is not in alignment with their spiritual evolution, which means you need partner who is very spiritually focused. You need partner who is focused on making themselves a better person and improving themselves. This is something which is going to be very compatible for you. Again, I don't want you to fear that getting married will cause a divorce. It will not. It is just so important that the person you are in relationship with allows you to be independent, and that there is not codependency or unhealthy level of attachment, because then K2 can bring destructive energy to relationship. But that is only when there is unhealthy, when only your partner get in way of your spiritual growth. I really like that question, by the way. Thank you.
Okay. Next question comes from, but before I say, is Anna W present? Anna W, if you are present, please intimate through chat. Fourth in line is, okay, Bhavik Gondalia. Are you present? Bhavik Gondalia. Mr. Bhavik Gondalia, if you are present, please intimate. I am not seeing. Okay, coming to the next. I presume they will be joining late. Vivek Singh. Vivek Singh, are you present, Vivek Singh? Okay, Vivek Singh, you are not. Kulbir Jaswal. Kulbir Jaswal. Okay. Abhishek Vasu, thank you for your kind comments for the channel Astrology, Saptarishis Astrology. We take your comments with high regard. Keep watching us. Okay. Okay, Kushwan Jolly, if you are happy, we are happy too. Abhijit Rajak, are you present? Abhijit Rajak, are you present? Moushumi Das, are you present? Moushumi Das, are you present? Roshan, I have not come to you till now. See, guys, you need to understand. You put in your date of birth and Abhijit Rajak. Okay, Abhijit Rajak is present. Okay, I'll keep my wordings for late. Sir, Abhijit Rajak, serial number 8.
Yes.
Sir, its date of birth is 10/8/1995 in Kolkata. Thank you, Kolkata. You are great. You are coming on time. Yes, I appreciate.
Wild storm in Kolkata, yes?
Yes. Okay. His question is, can I prepare for IS examination, and is there anything positive in the chart to become a government officer. Basically, IS is a top-notch government position.
Okay. And what is the responsibility of the IAS position?
Is the bureaucrat? They're the bureaucrats who actually run the country.
I understand they're representative.
Yes, but they're not political representatives.
They're government representative.
Yes, they are government guys, government officers
Yeah.
who are basically responsible for taking the country ahead.
That makes perfect sense. So there is much promise for this government job and IAS. The first thing that I noticed, there's two things which I noticed. One is currently you are in Rahu Mahadasha. There is strong indication because you have Sun in 10th house. This has to do with position of authority. This has to do with potential position in the government. This has to do with representative of power. So whenever there is Sun in 10th house, there's a strong indication for such a position of the IAS. That is very appropriate. Something that I look at very specifically in your chart, though, is that you are in Rahu Mahadasha. Oftentimes, this can create uncertainty about the future. This can create certain confusion about the future. This can even create certain worry or anxiety as far as the future. And Rahu is in Lagna at 5 degrees. And when Rahu in Lagna, this kind of uncertainty has to do with your dharma. It might have to do with your higher purpose. So you are in period that by the end of this Rahu period, which is 2026, it is more 8-year away, that by the end of this period, you will be certain of your dharma. You will path. But there is still some kind of soul searching, let's call it, figuring it out of what exactly the path is. However, that Sun position in the 10th house does support your potential position. The thing that I saw the most possibility, however, is when the Sun subdasha of Rahu start. My indication is that this would be the most promising time for you. So the most promising time for you, I think, for this realization of your career potential, getting more deeper in touch with your life purpose, which is connected towards your dharma, start in November 24, 2022. Again, that is November 24, 2022. That means over the next 4 years, you are still soul searching, still figuring it out. Maybe this is represent preparation. Maybe this represent all the work that you will have to do. But there is high signification by 2022 that you will have reached the position in the government that you would have liked to. Also, also Venus is in your 10th house. So you have Sura Shukra Yoga, and this Shukraya effect of the 10th house gives creativity. The IAS position does not allow for much creativity as far as I know. It is very important for you that in your career, there is some element of creativity. There is some element of beauty. There is some element of pleasure and happiness giving to others that is going to be important. There is strong potential for you there. Again, you could have position in government. I also see you would be great actor. You would be fantastic actor. Perhaps you could do Hollywood, Bollywood type energy. However, this Rahu and Venus activation start November 24 of 2019. But right now you are in Rahu Mercury period, and then you go into Rahu K2 period, and K2 in 7th house. This indicates strong energy of relationship for you at this time. So even though career energy is very strong, starting November 2019, with strong indications of potential government position by 2022, it's not the main energy which is being strongestly activated in this current moment. But because Mercury is in 11th house is karma and has to do with what our soul's dreams are. So you are to be thinking at this time about what your soul's dreams are, what you want to achieve in the long term of your life. But the next level of greatest progress in your career start towards end of 2019. Thank you, Abhijit.
Great, sir. I hope this question is answered. Okay, coming to the next. Shankar Kumar, are you present? If you are present, please put it up in the chat. Okay, coming to the next is Swati Soni. Are you present? I can't find Swati answering. Moshumi Das, are you present? See, the biggest problem is you all just put in your date of birth, time of birth. I have to work with sir, making the charts ready, making things ready. You don't turn up. It's waste of time, energy. Please, if you are not coming, you should have withdrawn the question. Meaning, we'll never get a chance also, those who are present.
Varunji, I just want everyone to give a little thanks and recognition to Varunji for helping host and do all of this amazing
Okay,
work.
it's sir, I don't need any appreciation. I'm just doing it for Sunil sir and for Team Saptarishis and for astrology. Nothing more than that, sir. No appreciation is good. Okay, Anna is come. Anna, you need to wait for some time. There are people in queue right now, but we will take your chart. Okay. Okay, so Vivek Singh has a question. What will be the effect of Moon Rahu conjunction in the 4th house in Aquarius in Satabisha Nakshatra in Navamsha?
Is this question 5?
Question 5, right, sir?
Does he have chart there? No.
No charts. He just has asked a blanket question.
Yes, Vivekji. So what will be effects of the Moon Rahu conjunction in 4th house in Aquarius? In Satabishak Nakshatra, in Navamsha, there is a Vargadama ascendant. This gives Rahu even stronger influence. So there are many, when you have this type of yoga in 4th house, it has some positive energy and it has some challenging energy. First of all, whenever Rahu Ketu on 1-7 or 4-10 axis, it run through the Sushumna channel. Sushumna channel give powerful intuitive ability. So this also give you powerful intuition. It also is a special type of intuition because the moon ruled the manas and the emotion. It's what we call empathic intuition. This gives you great ability of sympathy, empathy, and compassions. And this gives you an ability to feel what other people feel. And this will give you an ability to support other people because you are able to feel what they feel. But that is also a challenge because that means for better or for worse, you are going to feel what other people feel. That means if you are with Guru, like Amritananda Mahima, and you are in satsang and you receive darshan by Amaji, you will be feeling more blissful than you could ever imagine. However, if you are in presence of alcoholic, drug addict, bipolar, schizophrenia, person with heavy depression, this will begin to mildly, subtly, and influence your own mood, mind, and emotions. So on the positive side, a guru can lift you up into blissful state. But on challenging side, we're looking at a heavy influence, which can cause you to be negatively influenced by other people's mood, mind, and emotion. The 4th house is the house of the mother. So when you have Moon Rahu, I say this with the kindest of heart, but it has strong indication of mother potential have some form of mental weakness. Mother have some form of mental imbalance. We could say many different possibilities. There could be depression. There could be anxiety. There can be obsessive compulsive. There can be narcissistic in tendency. So we are looking also at possibly some challenges from the mother's mental condition. And then also, because the Rahu moon, it aspects your 10th house. It aspects your 10th house of career. It is also showing that this intuitive, empathetic gift, it can be integrated into your career. It can be integrated into the work, what you do. So this is very positive aspect. On the challenging side of this aspect, when Rahu influenced the career, sometimes there can be uncertainty in the career. Satabishak Nakshatra, it's the 100 positions, it's the 100 flowers. This means that there's potential for healing in your work that you do, in your career. This has indications for Ayurveda, astrology, even traditional allopathic medicine. And then also fourth house of home. So it might show that at times of your life, there is troubles at the home. There is worrying about the home. There is an uncertainty if the place you are currently living is the place that you will be living in the long term. And also it shows that your business can take you out of your homeland. And also that there, possibly your mother lives with you. And it could also show constantly moving, having to move from one house to another.
Great, sir. Great. Just awesome. Okay, coming to the next question. Anna W. Okay, she has come. She has informed. Anna W has come in. She has informed. So it's question number 3.
Yes.
Okay, she wants to know the career prospect, spiritual growth, and she would like to know the effect of Mandi in the 9th house. She is from Maharashtra, Nasik, 9th April 1983.
Blessings, Annaji. So first we'll talk about all of these different aspects. We'll touch on them. I really like that you mentioned Mandi and 9th house. Although Gulika and Mandi are very similar, sometimes they're understood at each other. Also, some astrologers believe Gulika and Mandi to be different, but we can understand Gulika here. As we want to know your career's prospect, we look at Venus in Taurus in 10th house of career. This has strong Venus influence on career. This means that the career should have something to do with beauty. The career should have something to do with art, music, entertainment, potentially having something to do with the senses. Maybe something that you do or provide is pleasurable to the other people's senses. Maybe what you do provides pleasure, it provides happiness, it provides joy to the lives. Because Shukrayaji is connected to Lord Indra. We know Lord Indra is the deva of the senses. So in this sense, there's working with the senses has strong positive energy in your career. Now, when Venus is in Taurus, it does signify business. It does signify materiality. It does signify the expression of the material world. It does show career prospects for you working in business. It should be a creative type business. It should be a Venus type business. But there does a lot of success for prosperity and accumulation of wealth here as far as having some type of business or some type of working with finances or money management. So there's the two sides of that Venus energy in career. One side, more feminine, like beauty, art, music, entertainment, pleasure, all of these things, food included. Then on other side of it, more materialistic, like business, accounting, management. So you have both of these potential very strong in your career. When we look at your spiritual growth in the life, then we might as well immediately start talking about your 9th house position. You have 3 strong energy in 9th house. One, we have Mercury in Aries. We also have Mars in Aries. So very Mula Tricona of Mars. So you're looking at very strong energy from Mars. Mercury does not do very good in a sign of Mars. It doesn't always do very good in sign of Mars. But so if you understand planetary war, then you have war between Mangal, Buddha. So Mangal, Buddha, Yoga, but there's war here. And the war, Mars dominate war. Mars is Skanda, the general of the army. So here we have Skanda really dominating thoroughly in this position. So it shows a strong amount of spiritual growth, spiritual evolution through a Mars-Mercury paradigm. That means that the spiritual life is action-oriented. This shows mysticism. This shows that as far as the spiritual growth and the spiritual evolution, there should be lots of service to the guru. There should be lots of traveling to temples. There should be lots of selfless, excuse me, there should be lots of selfless and humanitarian deeds and action. Karma of Aries is if there is something to do, then it needs to be done. And this is applied to your spiritual path. So for many people, spiritual path has more meditation, but for you, spiritual path is very active in service to your religion, in service to your spirituality, in service to your guru, that is full of action. When there is Mercury, Buddhaji in the ninth house, then part of your spiritual evolution has to do with the buddhi, the discretionary factor of your consciousness, the logical, the intellectual, and the rational. So that means that even though spirituality and religion is something that we have faith in, right? It's something that we come to believe to, and we don't need proof. We don't need logic. But when Mercury in ninth house, we need logic for our spiritual religious understanding. So science, this indicates science is part of your spiritual evolution. So I think of all the spiritual sciences of the Vedic, which include Jyotish, which include Ayurveda, which include yoga, which include Vastu. So we're looking at a strong development of spiritual growth and expansion towards an intellectual scientific paradigm as well. So and now let's talk about Gulika Mandiji. So when you have this position of Gulika, Gulika is the thief of the ego. Much like Ketu, Gulika is the thief of the ego. You have Mercury in ninth house. You have Mars in the ninth house. So there is huge evolutionary aspect in which you become more like Guru throughout your life. You also go through Mercury Mahadasha starting in 2031. So this you will be growing in your spiritual knowledge. You will be growing in your spiritual wisdom. And this will be incredibly powerful. And so this Gulika position in the ninth house, though, it take away recognition. It take away ego. You know, I have Gulika in my Lagna. Most people do not know my birth name. Most people do not know my common name. They only know me by Ksanati. My birth name will never have any type of recognition. So there is strong energy here as far as your spiritual evolution, as far as your advancement, there will be no recognition. Your ego will not be allowed to grow. This is really powerful, positive position of Mandiji in the ninth house, because in your spiritual dharma, it takes away this ego. On the positive side, even if you wanted to have an ego, you would not be allowed to have one. In other words, there is this destruction of the ego, which the Mundi in the ninth house do.
Great one, sir. Great. You have actually answered so much. I don't think they have actually understood or not. And I hope you have understood. You have gone so deep. Okay.
I tried to give as much comprehensive and logical.
Absolutely. Okay. The next in queue is Abhijit Rajak is done. Maushami Das, you have not yet informed whether you are present or not. Swati Soni, you have also not indicated whether you are present or not. Shankar Kumar, you have also not indicated. Mukesh Kumar Sharma, are you present, Mukesh Kumar Sharma? Okay, Mukesh Kumar Sharma is not there. Vicky Das. Okay, yes, he had commented he is present. Okay. So the next chart is chart number 13. Vicky Das. Date of birth is 12th November 96. 6:02 a.m. Sir, his question is, he finds his chart quite bad with 3 debilitated planets and he wants to know about his career and health.
Mhm. Let's take a look at that. Thank you, Vicky G. I love your question. Debilitation is something that can be often misunderstood because it doesn't necessarily indicate any sort of challenges. Sometimes when a malefic planet is debilitated, it reduces the overall bala of that planet. Then you have a reduced power of a malefic planet. So don't beat up on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself just because you have some debilitated planets in your chart. Now, when we look at which planets show up as debilitation, first we have moon debilitation in the second house. When moon debilitation in the second house, it gives powerful intuitive ability. It actually gives powerful ability to see something before it happened. There are many positive aspects to the moon in Scorpio of this position in the second house. Even though we are looking at somewhat of a debilitation, we're also looking at a possible gift of intuition, of prediction, of ability to see what the future might have in store for you. So there is this strong, almost feeling sense, because when the moon is in Scorpio, that means there is moon Mars energy, and the moon is the emotion, and the Mars is the action. So it can show people very strongly connected to their emotions. On the challenging side, this can cause emotional impulsivity. This means acting on your emotion quickly. On the other hand, it can include emotional hypersensitivity, which means you can be very sensitive to what other people say or feel about you. So, but ultimately, this has some positive gifts as well. And because this is in the second house, you can make money from your emotional intuitive gift. And Scorpio is connected to Mars, which can have to do with medicine, can have to do with healing. I find it interesting that you're concerned about your health. There's some energy in your charts here that you can work in medicine. So that's first aspect of debilitation. Also, we're looking at debilitation of Venus in the 12th house. Now, this has very powerful significations for you in terms of letting go of the material world. It's not this doesn't necessarily challenge your career, but it shows the challenge of necessarily the extreme accumulation of material wealth, because Lord Shukraya is the guru of wealth, is the Lord of wealth, and when this have influence of debilitation in 12th house, it can make it hard for the accumulation of wealth. But then the moon and Mercury in the second house does show an accumulation of wealth. So there might be an accumulation of wealth at certain times, but that money will have to be spent. Again, part of the karma which shows up here is that you should make money, but you also might be temptation to spend money. You also might have hard understanding in the relationship to money, in the relationship to the material world, because when we look at a debilitation of Venus, Venus helps to have us proper relationship to the material world. So it shows when it part of your career, part of your evolution, not to undervalue money and not to overvalue money. So that is part of the reason why financial accumulation can be challenged at times. Now, when we look at your career, we're looking at this Cancer influence, this moon influence, and we look at moon's deposition in the second house in Scorpio. This is why I said this could be part of your career, to be sympathy, empathy, and compassion, your emotional gift. When the Cancer is in 10th house, this has influence, which is strong possibility for you to be counseling, for you to be therapist, for you to be supporting and caring and helping others. But when the moon is in Scorpio, it can do that in mystical, esoteric, or occult way. That is why you might be good at astrology or Ayurveda, my friend. You might be very gifted at this. When we look at your health, we're looking at a debilitation of Sun in the Lugna, and that's the third debilitated planet. When I like talking about past lifetime karma of debilitation of Sun, because it show in your past lifetime that you were oppressed. It shows in your past lifetime that you were suppressed by a position of authority, by a position of leadership. And that position of authority could have even been your father, which means your father might not let you fully express yourself in this lifetime even, but stronger in past lifetime, in which you were not allowed to be who you wanted to be. You were not allowed to do what you wanted to do. There was an oppression from authority onto who you are. So now in this lifetime, you are to fully believe in yourself, even though you carry past lifetime samskara of these challenges where you are oppressed and not allowed to fully be yourself. So this is a strong dharmic lifelong evolution with the sun debilitation in the lugna, is for you to believe in yourself, for you to believe in your power. You have an ability to direct. You have an ability to manage. You have an ability to organize. Don't let anyone else tell you that you don't. There's a part of you which is the leader, but you carry impression of past lifetime in which you were not allowed to fully express yourself. So when we're looking at the health, we're looking at the challenge of sun on the lugna. So there can be pitta, very pitta type imbalances which influence. Now we look at sixth house. We have Saturn retrograde and Ketu. This can bring many health challenges. So we must address this from Ayurvedic perspective. Now, the sixth house is the first three stages of disease in Ayurveda. In traditional Ayurvedic medicine, there are 6 stages of samprapti. There are 6 stages of disease. The first 3 stages are Sanche, Prakopa, and Prasara. Sanche, Prakopa, and Prasara. And this means that the dosha is going out of balance. The dosha is going through fluctuation. When Saturn, we're looking at Vata fluctuation. With Ketu, we're looking at Pitta fluctuation. And with Pisces, we're looking at sometimes even Kapha potentially aggravation. So there's element of tridoshic aggravation here. Strong Vata and Pitta being the stronger two. But again, this is only the first 3 stages of disease. These type of fluctuations, they're not here to create chronic disease. They're not here to create fatal disease. They're not here to create something which you have to worry about your whole lifetime. It is to be show you an acute healing crisis. We call this an acute healing crisis, which means at a given time, your body will go through an imbalance. And because of that imbalance, you will have to learn more about health. You will have to learn more about how to treat your body. So we see certain karma here, which we call the karma of the wounded healer, the karma of the wounded healer, which means you will deal with sickness and nothing chronic necessarily, but you can deal with certain sicknesses in your life like that are surprising because of Ketu, like food poisoning, like accident in which you break bone, in terms of getting flu, in terms of getting bacteria infection, in terms of getting virus. These are all things which you might have to experience in your life. And it is supposed to help teach you to heal yourself. And then eventually this will give you great knowledge of health. This will give you great knowledge of wisdom of the body and what puts it in balance and what takes it out of balance. I think this is most profoundly found in the ancient science of Ayurveda. After looking at your chart for a while, I would highly encourage you to spend time studying Ayurveda because there's even potential in your career as an Ayurvedic healthcare practitioner.
Great, great, great. Friends, I have a request to all of you. See how the thing has been done. If I don't tell you this, I thought of telling you in the beginning, but then many had not joined. Questions were posted in community section. Our team, which does not include me, since I would be hosting the show, the team which did not include me had compiled the full thing. It came on my email 15 minutes before the program started. It was sent to Ksanati sir 3 days back so that he can do the predictions and write notes. I am absolutely not knowing whose chart is coming and who is who. I cannot jump queue. I'll just show you I'll show you. If I don't show you, you will not understand. Just give me 1 second. I will just show you how things work with us.
Varunji, is now okay time for me to take 1 minute bathroom break?
Yes, sir, you do take a break. I'll just tell them for a minute, sir will be out. I'll just tell you how it is done. See, I'll just share the screen with you. Yes, sir, you may come back in a minute's time, sir.
Thank you, Guruji.
See, this is how we have done it. I hope everyone can see the screen. This is how we have done it. So everyone will get a chance. Everyone, every question will put like this. It's a 50-page document. So kindly wait. We will take everyone's question. Many of you may have missed it. When you're telling us, our team at the back is checking it out so that they can take your questions also. But please, do not feel that we are doing something that will hurt you or harm you. And you know, when a person is giving predictions, it cannot be a 1 minute job. He is holistically taking the full chart. I understand it's late, people may go to sleep, but at the same time, Ksanati sir is joining from US where it's very early morning now. So please, and please people, please friends, don't feel that I am jumping the queue. Yes, I have been given authority to jump the queue only for super chats. Only for super chats. Otherwise, I don't have the authority to jump. And that is the reason I'm calling out the names of the people as it is coming. If they're responding, we are taking. If they're not responding, we are just keeping them. We're not discussing their charts. So don't feel bad that if someone is not present and we're discussing his chart. We will not. We will not. Sir, Mr. Abhishek Sharma, try to understand. There has been 158 charts. Technically, 5 minutes per chart takes us to some astronomical hours. We will try to accommodate all. Those whom we cannot accommodate today, we'll be back with him again with those specific charts. We are here to help you out. Take the help. Be nice. Be good. Okay. Till sir comes back, I'll just ask few names. If they are present, please intimate us through chat. Vicky Das, yours is done. Pushpender Singh Bhatti, you have intimated you are present. Kindly wait. It's you in the queue next. Anshuman Guru, if you are present, please intimate. Anshuman Guru. And another thing, many have posted question on a pseudonym. Now you are coming on another name. How on the earth I will know that it is your question? Say I log in as XYZ and put a question. And today I am logging as ABC and asking where is my question. I can't find you here. But maybe your question is there.
Namaste, Varunji. I have returned.
Yes, great. So without wasting time, I'll take on to the next. Sir, it's serial number 14. Mr. Pushpender Singh Bhatti. Jai Shri Krishna. Sir, his question is, he is a 1992 born in Jaisalmer. His Rahu Mahadasha is going very troublesome. His remedies are backfiring. And I presume he is in the fag end of Rahu Mahadasha. And his question is, how will be his upcoming Mahadasha? And what about abroad settlement?
Great.
specifically wanting to go out of India.
Yeah, this might be a time to do some quick astrocartography.
Yes.
First thing is that we look at Leo Lugna for Pushpendraji and Gulika at 6th degree in Lugna. We both have this in common, my friend, and it does not give our chance and ego to grow. Um, Now, when we are looking at upcoming Mahadasha, we look at Jupiter Mahadasha. I'm sure because Rahu Mahadasha, it sounds like has been difficult for you. You are very much looking forward to the Guru Mahadasha. Your Guru is in second house, so it will be very beneficial for you financially. You also have a Jupiter Moon conjunction. Even though neither of these planets are incredibly happy in the Virgo, there is strong influence that by having two very profound graha in the second house of Artha wealth, this will be a highly prosperous financial period for you. Your Rahu is in the fourth house. This can create difficulties in the home life. This can create difficulties in the homeland. And by the way, Rahu in fourth house signify greater success in foreign land than in your home. This can also indicate a greater level of happiness. But when we look at your Rahu, we're seeing a few different yogs. We're seeing, Surya Chandali, Rahu and Sun, but then also Buddha is involved in there, and Buddha is retrograde. So we're looking at a very challenging energy here of Rahu in Scorpio, which is sometimes considered a debilitation. In other words, some astrologers consider Rahu to be debilitation in Scorpio. And this is because Rahu and Mars are enemy. And can be very difficult position for Rahu. So, yes, I have much compassion for you during this Rahu Mahadasha, and it does indicate very much more success in foreign settlements. So now for the rest of our time, we will take a quick look at astrocartography to see what place in the globe would be the most auspicious for you to go, my friend. So let me know when, can you see my screen, Varunji?
Yes, I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, great. Great. We're going to be doing astrocartography. This is a good time to let everyone know that Saptarishi Astrology will be doing a live astrocartography course. Astrocartography is the astrology of geography, in which we take a look at different places across the globe and see the energies in those places for you. So we can help support your achievement of all of the different aims of life by this energy of aligning to your astrocartography. So this is why we are going to look at your astrocartography now to give us opportunity. So you were born the 21st of November, 1992. We're looking at a 30 minutes past midnight in Jaisalmer, right? In Jaisalmer. Yes.
It's a place
Okay.
in Rajasthan.
Yes, I thought so. So now we will take a look at your astrocartography. This can be very fun for everyone at home, and you can see how it was inputted here. Okay, so first thing when we look at India, we notice Sun and Mercury lines. This is very supportive for your fourth house, especially which is the house of the home. So it does indicate this indication of living in the homeland during this time period of you, especially because Rahu is conjunct with these two planets. Rahu is more towards the eastern part of India near Bangladesh, but we're still looking at a strong influence from Sun and Mercury here, which is in your fourth house of the home. So this could indicate why you stay where you are during this time. Now, as mentioned, you are going into your Jupiter Mahadasha. This will activate your Jupiter Maha line. This will mean that the Jupiter line will be very auspicious for you to travel to once your Rahu Mahadasha was over. So when we're looking at a broad settlement, we're first going to discuss the places that are the most best for you. First thing I notice is that there is Jupiter in the Northeast United States, very close to Moon, and these are both of the planets in your second house. So this will support your financial, this will support your career, this will support your prosperity. This includes states of Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania. All of these states will be beneficial for your foreign settlement. We're also looking at a Venus in the fifth house in Washington. This is Seattle, Washington, and Vancouver, Canada. This is a very different energy, but support your Dharma, and it's a very positive energy. So when we look at United States, we see two beneficial areas: New England, Northeast United States, and also Northwest United States, which is very close to the Canada border. Let's see other places. There's conjunction of Mars here. It looks like you have a Venus in Spain, so that would be beneficial there. But in general, yes, those are as far as your foreign settlement, I like the idea of the Northeast United States or the Northwest United States, which is also include the Southwest of Canada. I hope that was helpful. Lots of fun.
That was brilliant. Well, someone asked what is the actual pronunciation. It's astro-cartography. Astro-cartography. Okay. Sir, the next question comes, is the serial number 9.
9.
Yes, sir.
Mashumi Das.
Yeah, some Maushumi Das from Assam, Lord Lakhimpur. And her question is on career.
Great question. What a powerful Lagna you have, Mashumi Das. Just wanted again, she's Sagittarius, Danus Lagna, but we have Sun, 24 degrees, Moon, 22 degrees, Venus, 21 degrees, Mercury, 1 degree. Wow, that is a powerful Lagna. There are so many different aspects to your Dharma. There is so many different aspects to your personality. There is so many different possibilities and potentials for what you are to be successful. So there is, when I say this, it is even stronger for you. The chart does not just show one possibility for how our life is supposed to turn out, but rather the chart show several coexisting possibilities and potentials. And we still have the free will and choice to make the right choices, decisions, and actions. So when we're looking at these potentials in your chart, there are many different paths and potentials for you. When we look at 10th house, we notice 2 even 3 very powerful malefic forces here. We're looking at Pluto, we're looking at Rahu, and we're looking at Gulakamandiji. So you are noticing a strong, intense, challenging influence on the career. Immediately, I noticed a profound duality in your chart. One with all these possibilities and potentials for your Dharma, and then other with the Rahu and Mundi, which takes away the ego and create confusion about the career. Oftentimes when Rahu is on the 10th house, our career takes us to an outsider type, which is a career which can be related to a minority, a career which can be related to the outside of society, the career which could be related to the mystical, the occult, the esoteric, the spiritual. So when we're looking at the greatest evolution for your career, I do indicate that it is in a mystical, spiritual direction. Now, when we look at Virgo, this career energy require the intellect. So it can have to do with knowledge, education, and science. So there is possibility for you as a teacher, strong possibility for you as an educator. Also, additional possibilities here because Virgo is about providing a service. So there's also additional energy that you could be a service provider, which means you can be of service, like to the community, but you can also provide some type of service in terms of vaishya, in terms of merchant, in terms of benefiting financially from a service that you may provide. But when Rahu is in Lagna, it can give confusion around career. And you are currently in Rahu Mahadasha, so this can show transformation or change of the career. We have higher side and we have lower side. And Rahu can represent this transition through its Mahadasha to a very powerful, true sense of what our career, our life purpose really is. And it's connected to the mystical, it's connected to the spiritual, but it could also be connected to education and the intellect and providing a service. So we're talking about all the different aspects here which show up in your career vibration. Your Rahu Mahadasha does not end until 2025, which means you are still in a figuring it out phase. You're still in a career development phase. You're still in a phase which is adding more things to your career, which truly do resonate with you, and subtracting things from your career that don't resonate with you, but you're going to be trying those things too. So even during this Rahu Mahadasha, you might be doing some work, you might be doing some career, and you realize that's not what you want to do. That's not what your purpose is, but that is also equally valuable into you figuring out what exactly it is. In other words, your evolution in your career path is a subtraction process, which you remove all of the things which you know you should not be doing, and what is left is the correct answer. Thank you, Ms. Shumi.
Great, great, awesome. Sir, this is the chart. I'll just share one chart with you right now.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second, sir.
Of course.
Okay.
Is this
Okay.
someone who sent in? Is this someone who sent in their question?
Yes. Yes, I'll just share the chart with you, sir. Give me 1 second. Yes. So this is a chart. Earnings and career, sir.
What was the question?
So earning and career.
Career and
Earning.
army?
Earning.
Like
Earning.
army, like
No. It's earning. EARNING. Earning.
earning.
Yeah. Then how much will they earn in life?
Yes. What's this individual's name?
His name is Ananya.
Ananyaji, thank you for this question. How much will you earn in life? This is a great question. By the way, you have the same lagna as Gandhi. I hope you know that you have the same lagna as Mahatma. This gives very strong direction to the soul's evolution and what you are to reach your soul's potential in this lifetime. When the sun is in lagna like this, it promotes you to the greatest amount of success throughout your life, which is a positive thing because you are constantly pushed to in a place of promotion, but it's challenging because it does not give you time to relax. It does not give you time to rest. Saturn in the 4th house might at times give you time at home to relax, but that time will be difficult because your karma is to succeed. It might even be hard to relax. Now, when we're looking at your overall earnings, we want to look at Artha houses, Artha Bhava. Which ones are being supported? Which ones are being challenged? First thing we notice, Gulika and Mercury retrograde in the 2nd house of wealth. This shows that Gulika, so this can take away our ego. So you are not allowed to have much ego in terms of the wealth. That means that there is a karmic relationship between your humility and your financial success. In other words, some remedy which would be very beneficial for this is the more humble you are, the more you do not think that the money that you have is for you to have, then the more money that will come to you. So there's a duality there in which you are to not be attached to money for even greater success. Now, when Mercury retrograde here, it does support energy for what you earning money, especially during Mercury period. As I see, you're in Rahu Mahadasha, and Rahu is in sixth house, which is Artha house. This has to do with work that we do, but is not necessarily a career, but is a wage. This has to do with the work we do, which is a wage and not a salary. So this shows that this Rahu Mahadasha, you might be doing much work during this period, but that work is not necessarily your career, not necessarily your life purpose. And with Rahu in the sixth house, it indicates a wage and an uncertainty about the future. So this could show some uncertainty in the earnings, some uncertainty in the career at this time. When you go into your Jupiter Mahadasha, all of this uncertainty will end. A lot of these financial uncertainties and worries will be completely behind you. Your Jupiter is in the ninth house. The ninth house is the house of fortune. The ninth house is the house of luck. So you go from a period in which you are unlucky financially to a period in which you are going to be much more lucky, much more fortunate financially. And this will be the second house activation of Mercury. You will be using your intelligence to earn money as well. So basically, until you go into your Jupiter dasha in 5 years, just understand that there is some worry, uncertainty about the financial aspect in the future, but that is something for you to not worry about, because you will be entering strong, prosperous Jupiter Mahadasha, which will benefit you much financially. But also you're in Venus Shukra Sabdasha, and this signify an activation of Libra in your second house. So no wonder you're also thinking about how much earning you're right now, but the earning will be so much stronger after your Rahu Mahadasha is complete. Sixth house activation shows uncertainty about the financial future, and that by the end of the Rahu Mahadasha, there will be much more certainty there.
That's great, sir. That's absolutely great. Okay. I hope your question is answered, Mr. Shambo. And now coming to the next is Mr. Abhishek Sharma present? Mr. Abhishek Sharma. Mr. Abhishek Sharma, are you present? Okay. You are from Rajasthan, Mr. Abhishek Sharma. You are not present. I'm moving to the next. Okay. So now Amit Ramani, you are saying yes, I am present. Abhishek Sharma. Praveen Shivastava. Praveen Shivastava, are you present? Praveen Shivastava, are you present? Uma Ramanna, are you present? Okay, Praveen Shivastava. Yes, you are present. Fine. So we are going for Praveen Shivastava, chart number 17.
Okay, fantastic.
1988, born in Lucknow, and he is trying to get a government job for 5 years. He is also a mechanical engineer.
Yeah. That's a yeah.
When will he? It's a job question. When will he be getting a job in government? Does this chart support that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Namaste, Pravinji. First of all, no wonder you are a mechanical engineer, because Saturn is the master engineer. One of my favorite titles for Saturn is the master engineer. So you have Saturn in 10th house, conjunction with Gulika. So this shows strong indication for, working as engineering. I went to engineering college, actually, and I am Aquarius Lugna. Now we are moving on to talking about the possibility for your government job. Saturn also represents government. So we're looking at another manifestation of your potential. In other words, it's not like engineering or government job that one is better for you or that one is worse for you, because both of them satisfy the Saturn energy in your 10th house. The thing is the government position, it more satisfies Sagittarius vibration. And so this has to do with humanity, morals, ethics, working in the government, which means supporting your country and working for your country. So that is why Sagittarius can be activated from working with the government. Your Rahu Mahadasha with position of Rahu in 12th house mean when something is strongly desired, it can evade you. That is why this Rahu period for you, even though you've tried to get job for 5 years, make it hard, because Rahu makes things difficult in the future. It makes it so we can really only live life in the moment, so we can really only live life one day at a time. And so this activation, though, of Saturn in your 10th house, Saturn is Shanaishcharaya Nama. This means Shanaishcharaya, the slow mover. So no wonder there is delay. But Saturn is a planet which delays, but it never denies. Saturn is a planet when delays, but it never denies. So when we talk about this karma, once your karma with Saturn is over, then you should achieve the position. If you have not achieved, if you have not even gotten very much closer to achieve this position, by the end of your Rahu Saturn Dasha, by the end of this Saturn Subdasha, it will be more challenged to happen. So, by the way, this Rahu Saturn Subdasha, it will end November 2019. That I believe, if we're in March, that is about 1 year and 2/3 away. So just because you have tried for 5 years, I do not want you to give up yet, because Saturn delay and does not deny. And so I encourage you to at least keep pushing, keep fighting, keep trying everything you are doing. And I imagine this will manifest before the beginning of 2020. There's still probably about 2 more years of hard work for this manifestation. So for the next 2 years, completely try, but I don't want you to worry about the future too much. I want you to try your best on daily basis, but Rahu creates horrible anxiety when we worry about the future. So as much as possible, the encouragement to live one life, one day at a time here. But last thing I will say, that your karma is also satisfied with your work as engineer. Even though government job, even stronger alignment because of Sagittarius, that still your job as engineer, it is in alignment with your life. So even though there is higher opportunity, which I think will manifest by end of 2019, that even if it doesn't manifest, even though I think it will be, even if it doesn't manifest, it's not like the engineering is not appropriate for you. It is. Thank you, Praveenji. Namaste.
Great, great, great. Okay, sir. The next question is, I'll share the screen once more, sir. When do you expect this native to get job, sir? This question is from Mr. Abhishek. A good job, and which field should he actually pursue?
Great question. Namaste, Abhishek ji. So first thing I noticed is Saturn retrograde conjunction Monday in the Lagna. And as we mentioned, Saturn is Shanaishcharaya, the slow mover. So there will be many things in your life which at times move slowly. This in turn, this is, how old is this individual?
So 87.
87, so 30.
30.
So when we are looking at this Shanai's Charaya influence, some of the things in your life which you want to happen, they will be delayed. Some of the things which you want to happen in your life, it is the most challenged. When we look in your chart at Shad Bala, Saturn is strongest planet in chart. This show of such a strong influence of Shanai's Charaya in Sanskrit, which means the full evolution of your career potential, it is actually delayed until the end. It is signified that your evolution of your career, the greatest evolution of your career, it actually takes place during your Saturn Mahadasha. This start in 2024 and will end in 2043. I know you have already had to be patient. Now, the Jupiter Mahadasha, which is in sixth house, does signify that you will be working at this time, but it will not be as career. It will not be as life purpose. It will be some type of hourly job. It will be some type of wage. It might be odd job here. It might be odd job there. It might be 10 hours here, 20 hours there. So we're looking at wage earnings, but we're not looking at a period which is the most beneficial for, even though this is an expansion for you by the sixth house, it's an Upachaya house. So it's a time of your self-improvement, your spiritual evolution, but it's certainly not the greatest time in your life for your full manifestation of your career energies. I actually think your Saturn Mahadasha will actually align a lot of the greatest types of fulfillment in your life, because there has been strong, heavy delay on many manifestations of it because Saturn strong Shadbala, Saturn retrograde. Thing is Saturn retrograde will bring great delay to certain areas of the life, and then other things will have happen rather quickly. Saturn retrograde can sometimes give things some things very quickly and other things extremely slowly. Possible you got married at a young age, but as you see, there's still this career evolution which is seeking to take place. So those are some energies which I wanted to mention along that. Was there another question, Renji?
Nope, that's it, sir. So we go to the next one. Next question. Abhishek Sharma, we could not find your question anywhere in the community section, but we do have your chart. So if you could be kind enough to write your question down, we will be grateful. In case you want an analysis.
Is the B-Sec Sharma number 16?
I'll just check, sir. I'm working on multiple laptops right now. Abhishek Sharma, Rajasthan. Yeah, 16, number 16.
Okay, great.
It's we have it. Hold on, sir. I'll tell sir. Abhishek Sharma, it's 1992, Rajasthan. And the question is, many planets are changing their position in Bhav Chalit in this chart in comparison to Rashi chart, like Saturn, Mars, Sun, and Mercury. Kindly explain the planet's result in this scenario. Also, what happens when Jupiter in the first is opposite Saturn in the seventh? Are both Digbali? But I don't find Saturn in the seventh house. It's in the sixth house.
I think he's talking about the difference between his Bhav Chalit and the Rashi chart.
Right, I presume so.
So
I presume so.
Are we looking at the Chalit or Rashi here? Rashi, right?
Yeah, we are looking at the Rashi chart, but yes, in the Chalit chart, Saturn will move to the seventh house. I presume because it's 24 degrees.
Yeah. So in general, Abhishek Sharma, I appreciate all of the different versions of the chart. I appreciate when we look at Rashi chart. I appreciate when we look at the Bhav Chalit. I appreciate when we look at Chandra Lagna. Sometimes I do Chandra and Surya Lagna reading. Even though these readings I think are meant for a time that is not the Kali Yuga, I still support these readings at these times because you can see all of these different aspects. However, just as a philosophical understanding from my own perspective, is that we are in the time of the Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, in my reading, is the strongest energy of the chart is the Rashi. The strongest energy of the chart is the Lagna. I think many of these more expansive charts, the divisional charts, the Surya Chandra Lagna, they do have a profound influence on the karma. But in the Kali Yuga, which is the current time which we are living in, some of that power is limited. So I believe in this time that we are living in, which is the Kali Yuga, always focus on Rashi, always focus on Lagna. So even though the positions change, when we complicate things, it can add stronger even confusion. So for the basic level of understanding your karma, in other words, astrology, Jyotish, is this vast science, like an infinite ocean of we can always swim in and never get to another side. So when we study Jyotish, is we want to simplify, is we want to make it accessible. We want to simplify these things. And so I highly encourage the use of the Rashi chart in this case. Now, when Jupiter and Saturn are opposite each other, you're looking at an aspect here, which is highly encouraging of spiritual growth. When Jupiter aspect Saturn, there is this more challenging type of spiritual growth, because when Jupiter has spiritual growth, it is expansive. It is the type of spiritual growth which we learn from Guru. It is the type of spiritual growth which we learn from someone who is a teacher. But Saturn is the hard knock growth. Saturn is the experience of growth through the challenges of life, through the adversities of life, through the delays of life. So when Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, Saturn-Jupiter aspect, you have someone who is very powerful spiritual evolutionary aspect, but they have to have lots of adversity in their life. Even in Rashi chart, if the Saturn in 6th house, it's still not very far from complete aspect on Lagna. And regardless, the Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, one of the strongest planets in your chart, and Jupiter, because it's in Lagna, one of the strongest planets in your chart. So we're seeing these two energies, very strong energies in your chart, regardless of their position based on Shalit, Rashi, etc. So I guess it is saying that there is a certain amount of adversity, challenges and obstacles that are part of your spiritual evolution that isn't as much present for those individuals that are influenced by Jupiter with not as much Saturn. So there's a lot more hard knock adversity type spiritual lessons than the easy kind of wisdom type lessons which Jupiter hands down to you from the Guru. Thank you, Abhishek.
That's great, sir. That's great. That's brilliant. Okay. Uma Ramanna, are you present? Uma Ramanna, are you present? Uma Ramanna, are you present? Okay, next is Krishna Kumar, are you present? Krishna Kumar, are you present? Sorry, my net is a bit slow, so I have switched off my cam. If you are present, kindly respond to the chat. Krishna Kumar. Okay. Now going to the next. Krishna Kumar. Okay. Next is chart number 20. Let me see who is there. Madhvi J, are you present? Madhvi J, are you present? Madhvi J, are you present? Devanshi Patnaik, are you present? Okay, Madhvi J is present. So we take chart number 20.
Good.
1976 Mumbai.
I love this question.
The question is, she has got a multiple relationship issues with parents, sisters. And the question is it due to the past life karma? She is upset with everyone around. It's an emotionally challenging time for her. Request your guidance.
Uh, yes, Madhaviji, it is always the past lifetime karma. Even though the chart is a manifestation of the karma in this lifetime for us, all of the blessings in this life we inherit from our past lifetime karma. All of the challenges in this life is our karmic debt, which we are to pay off. And I think when we study astrology, we even see this more. That there, a lot of times, there is not good explanation for why we face challenges in this lifetime. That's why always, if you look back at the potential of the past lifetime karma, it can bring certain challenges. Now, as I see in your chart, very different challenging relationship. Jupiter retrograde in Taurus in the fourth house show Jupiter retrograde type difficulties with the mother. This could show mother could have unhealthy attachment to you. At times, you might have unhealthy attachment to the mother. This also shows that the guru house. So, I mean, Jupiter is the guru. So you are looking at influence here. Your mother being a guru in your life, but also retrograde means pragna parad. So even though your mother is wise, your mother is very wise, she doesn't always live her life in alignment with her wisdom. Jupiter retrograde has great wisdom, but it does not always follow it. Okay, so that's one aspect of the mother that I think is worth mentioning. Now, when we look at the father, I immediately get drawn to the ninth house, and that is a very challenging energy. It seems to me that the energy with the father is more challenging than the energy with the mother because you have a debilitated son, you have Rahu and Mars is an enemy sign. So this is a very difficult house. Sun represent father. I like using ninth house for father. This has to do, this Sun Rahu conjunction shows the father can be narcissistic. The father can be selfish. The father can be aggressive. The father thinks he knows all. I hope your father's not listening. So, yes, there is this energy very strong here in which there is some delusional element from the father, and there's also authority. So whenever we have a position of authority, which is also delusional, in other words, Rahu representing Maya, the father can be part of illusion, can be confused with illusion. This can be a very challenging influence on you because it's not necessarily true that he leads you in the right direction. Actually, it shows that your father may not lead you in the right direction. Your mother more wise in the sense. Now, when we look at sister, I don't know if your sister is older sister, younger sister, but we're looking at a K2 influence on the energy with the sibling, as well as Sagittarius if the sibling is older and the Jupiter is retrograde. So in any case, with the sister, though, it's more transformative. In other words, the sister is there to help you transform. The sister is there to help you grow. And it also works two ways. In which you are to help your sister grow and transform, and then also you must allow her to help you grow and transform. Of all of the relationships in the chart, it looks like the father to be the most challenging, although the sister might be distant, which is difficult. Right now, in fact, I am upset with almost everyone around me. Yes, because these challenges are somewhat considered malefic. And also you have Moon in seventh house. Okay, when Moon is in seventh house, you are very family-oriented person. You are very caring, sympathetic, empathetic. You show support, care, and love and devotion to your family. And with Rahu, your dad takes advantage of that. With mom, she might get attached to it. And with your sister, she doesn't care about it. So this can be very frustrating. This can be very difficult because the love and support that you and the care which you are expressing, it's not necessarily being appreciated or received by your family members properly. Sometimes this shows that you have to protect your emotions. And if the love, care, this is remedy. If the love, care, and support which you give to your mother, father, and sister is not appreciated or reciprocated then you have to protect yourself and not give so much of it. So this means if they are not going to appreciate or reciprocate the love which you give, you need to hold it back, because especially the father will take advantage of it. And I'm really sorry that you are going through this issue, and I hope that this advice has been supportive.
That's great, sir. That's in fact brilliant. Sir, just a request. Could you just give us some detail about your astrocartography live video that you're going to do, sir?
Oh, of course. I would love to discuss that right now. So recently, about 2 weeks ago, we did a first promotional webinar, which was called Astro-cartography, the greatest tool for prosperity. This can be found on the Saptarishis Astrology YouTube channel, in which we use astrocartography, the geographical astrology, to determine which place in the world will be the best for Arta, money, finances, and career success. The reason we are doing these promotional webinars is because starting on May 20th, we are holding 10-week Saptarishi Astrology astrological course on Vedic astrocartography. This can be found on saptarishishop.com. And so we are doing a second promotional webinar, which is on April 22nd. It'll be at 8:30 p.m. India Standard Time. You can pre-register on Zoom, and there is link and Facebook group. It is called Astro-cartography, the greatest tool for love. Again, that's Astro-cartography, the greatest tool for love. And we're going to focus on where in the world using astrocartography is the most auspicious place to have good relationship, to have healthy marriage, to have good dating, to have positive relationship with member of opposite gender.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So next question is, I will share screen once more because there are few charts where we could not do it. So this is the chart, sir. So when can this person expect to get married?
Great, great.
And
first, yes.
And how his earnings will be like?
How old is this individual? What's his name?
It's his name is Siddharth. We missed his chart because he was not present at that time, and his this individual is right now running the 34th year.
Okay, great. So first thing I like to notice is your exalted Rahu Lagna. Much respect and appreciation. I love when Rahu is in Taurus. I consider that one of the exaltation positions. So I really like that your Rahu is in Taurus. This will create certain aspects of the life which are confusing, and it might inclinate you towards material prosperity. And it shows that the partner is a huge part of your spiritual evolution. Because there is a strong amount of your life which is towards material success, material prosperity, and you achieving recognition in this world because of the exalted Rahu Lagna, then you need partner, which is very balancing to that. This is very humble partner. This is very spiritual partner. This is very Jupiter type partner, especially because you have a Jupiter K2 conjunction in 7th house of marriage. So all of this indicate great propensity for your spiritual evolution and the balance of your relationship to the material world coming through the partnership, coming through the relationship. Now, the Jupiter in the 7th house does activate your, the Jupiter Mahadasha does activate this energy of the 7th house. K2, although, is the transformation. Also, K2 is the past lifetime. Whenever K2 in 7th house, your soulmate has already been your soulmate in your past lifetime. This is probably just the same soulmate in new Jivatman, in new physical incarnations. So we look at this Jupiter K2 conjunction here, and we signify a very powerful aspect of balance towards your life journey through the 7th house. However, when Jupiter K2 is conjunction, this can represent at times, this does not necessarily apply to you, but this can represent at times the path of the brahmacharya, the path of the person who chooses God as their wife, who chooses Krishna as their husband, who chooses Radha as their wife. So the symbolic essence there, you know, in America, we call these people nun. They're nun. They don't believe in, they don't take marriage oath because they believe God is their partner. So there is this energy, which is a possibility here. But again, there is strong indication of a great amount of balancing to your whole life energy of being with a partner who has spiritual oriented life. Now, no wonder you are thinking about this right now because you are Jupiter Mahadasha and Venus Antardasha. This Venus Antardasha, Venus is the Lord of romantic love. Jupiter activate your seventh house. So no wonder you are wondering when you are to get married. There's indications that this period would be the period where you will meet your wife. Not necessarily the period where you would get married, but the period where you would meet your wife. However, Venus is in the fourth house, so this isn't necessarily true because it might have to do with your family life and it might have to do with your career this period. Moon is in the fifth house. Moon is in the house of romance. My intuition is that you will meet you will probably get married or at least have a very serious long-term relationship during the Mahadasha of Jupiter and the Antardasha of Moon. This began on May 2nd, 2021. It doesn't mean you don't go on date. Venus represents dating. I highly encourage you to be dating at this time. But as far as the greatest indication for marriage, I like your moon on Tardasha in 2021.
Great, sir. Great. So what about the earnings? Because I find Gulika in the second house in this chart.
Correct. Correct. When you're looking at the earnings here, Gulika doesn't allow accumulation. This basically means that in the second house, it makes difficult for accumulation related to your birth name. This means you should have a joint bank account in someone else's name. There will be much more propensity for earning or accumulation. Anything which is associated with your name can have challenge for financial prosperity. This means that you should have spiritual name. You should have spiritual name. You know, and this could have, you know, your lugna, you know, Rohini ascendant. Also, so, you know, there could be, you know, just some more spiritual name, which is coming forth here. And if you have earnings which are associated with your spiritual name, it could show more financial being lucrative. Also, you have Gemini. Gemini shows a jack of many trades, master at none. So when we're talking about your earnings, it's not just from one source. It's not just from one source because you have ability to be good at performing very many different tasks. So you limit your earnings if you are only earning them on one way. If you have a diverse way that you are earning earnings, that will be the most prosperous for you.
Great, sir. Great. Okay. Coming to the next question here. Devanshi Patnaik. Are you present, Devanshi? Devanshi, are you present? Devanshi, are you present? Okay, no. We go to the next. Khushbu Jain. Khushbu Jain, are you present? Khushbu Jain. Okay. Now chart number 22. Alka Kumar. Alka Kumar, are you present? Alka Kumar. Okay. Pradnya Badhe. Pradnya Badhe, are you present? Pradnya Badhe, are you present? Indu, Indu, are you present? Indu, are you present? No. Janvi Parekh, are you present? Janvi Parekh, are you present? Okay, Indu, Indu is present. Indu has communicated, she is present. So chart number 24. Says chart number 24 for you. The native is preparing for judicial service. Judicial service means into judiciary. Wants to become a judge.
My grandmother.
And yeah, and when will he be getting a job? From Haryana, 1991.
I think this is a really interesting question, and it's very interesting because I've noticed those individual which have K2 Lugna, they have this, they always have higher calling. Judge is very powerful karmic position. Judge is like position which decide the fate of others. My grandmother, her name is Sandra Schultz Newman. She was first female Supreme Court Justice of my state, Pennsylvania. And she had to make certain very challenging decisions about whether people live or people die for their crime. So this position of K2 in the Lugna, it doesn't necessarily mean that your higher calling is to be guru. When K2 is in Lugna, it could show your higher calling is to have this powerful karmic position in which you decide the fate of others. So I like Judge for K2 Lugna. Okay. When will you get the job is the question. You want to know about your career and job. Well, first of all, you have Pisces in house of 10th house. Pisces ruled by Guruji. Jupiter in third house, ambition, motivation, intention. So this can show strong legal implications here. Possibility as judge, also subtle possibility as lawyer, if you chose to go that life path. Now, as we look more at the vibrations of when this might happen, first thing we notice is you're in Rahu Mahadasha, and you are in Jupiter Antardasha. This Jupiter Antardasha show your inspiration to the judicial. In other words, Jupiter has strong indication for being the guru. What is the guru? The judge, the judgment. The guru has the knowledge of truth. The judge has the knowledge of ethics. So there is strong influence of Jupiter supporting those vibrations for you at this time. However, your next Antardasha is Saturn. Antardasha of Saturn, which is 3 years long. Then you go through Mercury Antardasha. In other words, there is so much service in order for you to be coming for judge. It is a long process. And so that is what this is showing. I don't know what it is like in India, but you have to go to law school. Then once you complete law school, then you have to become a clerk. You become a clerk for another judge, and you do that for like 3 or 4 years. So even though you have this higher calling for judge, there's a lot of work, a lot of service, a lot of hard work and paying your dues that you're going to have to do before it is fully manifestation. And actually, the fullest manifestation of this energy, it is indicated during your Jupiter Mahadasha. You will be 31 plus 9, you will be 40. So the highest realization in your role as a judge, it's in this higher position of your career. The full potential in your career is still far away, which means there's lots of hard work. There's lots of paying your dues. There's lots of education. There's lots of service to other people in your field that have higher position than you. When you are looking at judge, It is strong. You have to climb the ladder. It is a process. Some people do not become judge in my country till they are 40, till they are 45, till they are 50, because of all the hard work. Now, you could be municipal judge, of course. You could be judge of small town. But if your highest evolution is to be judge of the state, or it's, I don't know if you have Supreme Court, which is the judges of the country, then this is going to be even higher position. So this is fullest manifestation 2031. I do imagine, though, after your Saturn Antardasha is over, the hardest part of the service, of the difficult work, of the slavery to the hierarchy, that will be over in 2021. And then you will go into your K2 Dasha, November 6, 2023. Varunji, for judge, is it in your country, is it based on election?
No, 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 no. It's purely education.
Purely education.
Education, and they have to rise through the ranks from the lower court to the high court and finally to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. So we're seeing the transformation from the lower ranks to the higher ranks, I think, is going to be during your K2 subdasha, Rahu Mahadasha K2 subdasha, which is not until 2023. So you're really at this, you've chose a life path which has much work, much time, much service for you to reach the fullest potential there. We're looking at that fullest potential, possibly the highest court, but we're looking at that being a 12-year process.
Great, great. Okay, I have a few things to tell to all our viewers.
Great.
That is, see, first of all, I don't see how many charts are coming. It is been sent to me, and it's been sent to Ksanati sir in the same moment. And even if your name is there, it's a 75-page document. Have a heart. And you are seeing how Ksanati sir is actually trying to help you all out. He is not doing it just a one-liner, yes, you will get a job, no, you will not get a job. He is giving you details also. If we don't finish charts today, it's already 2 hours. If we don't finish charts today, don't worry, we'll be back with Ksanati sir.
It would be
on the comment section of this video. Just tell us that you missed our chart, sir. We have already given it in the community section. This is our detail. Could you take it in the next video? We will be. We will be taking it up. You all are not our enemies, friends. You are our friends. Our channel is becoming a #1 channel because of you, not because of me sitting here. And why this has happened? Because previously, few of our volunteers felt and few of our viewers felt that I have been partial with someone and have been taking partial questions. So shackles on my hand, I can't take any questions which are not on queue. And that's why I'm telling you the question number also, if you listen carefully. That's because someone felt I was partial. I am not. Come on, I don't know you all. You all are not on my Facebook even. Let's get back. Let's get back without wasting time. And do thank Ksanati sir once your questions are answered, so that we feel good that you are happy. Okay, so Indu's question is taken, done. So Chetwani, ma'am, you were #1 in questions list. We called your name, but you joined late, so you have to wait. You have to wait. I will not jump the queue now. Kushwant Jolly is done. Okay. Do we have Janvi Parekh with us? Do we have Janvi Parekh with us? Do we have Janvi with us? No. Okay. Let's move ahead. not wasting much time. Abhijit Dhar, I presume you are there. I saw your comment somewhere. Abhijit Dhar, are you present? Abhijit Dhar, are you present? Abhijit Dhar, are you present? Because I saw your comment some time back. Okay, he was present. Let me. Yes, he is there. Yes, he is there. Yes.
That's a beautiful question.
Okay, so it's chart number 27. So are you there?
Yes.
So it's chart number 27.
Correct. Great. Question is, I want to know about.
He wants to know the purpose of his life and the pending karma. Big question.
This is a great question, Abhijit, and every single house is a manifestation of karma. So we could literally sit here and talk about the pending karma for 7 hours. So when we talk about our karma, we talk about many different aspects. When we're looking at your purpose in life, I like to talk about the Dharma. Now, there are 4 Vedic aims of life. Dhamarta Kama Mokshanam, Arogya Mulamutamam. There are the 4 aims of life, and no aim is greater than another aim, for these aims are the essential purposes of life. But when we talk about purpose of life, the first layer of it is called our Dharma. Our Dharma, which is our life purpose, our destiny, God's will for us, the universe's will for us, the Creator's will for us, Lord Shiva, intention. So there is this strong energy of this purpose of our incarnation. Some Vedic philosopher believe that our soul, it chooses our personality. It is not a conscious intellectual choice. It is the choice that we make based on of our karmas. And so the first layer of your purpose in life, we talk about the Dharma, and we talk about first layer of Dharma, which has to do with your personality and character and identity. We can look at the Lagna for this. The first layer of Dharma, we don't even look at the Rashi of the Lagna, we look at the ruling planet. The ruling planet of your Lagna, which is Libra, is Shukrayaji. Even though all of the Navagraha, 9 major planets, having influence over your chart, we can understand a primary lifelong influence by Shukraya. Now, many times when people think lifelong influence is Shukraya, in my Dharma, they think that life is supposed to be beautiful, that life is supposed to be pleasurable, with lots of art, music, and entertainment, and lots of wonderful romantic experiences. And Venus has to do with that, but that is not the karma. That is not the purpose of the life of those. Because Venus, Lord Shukrayaji, is the great guru of the duality. Lord Shukrayaji is the great guru of the duality. This has to do with Vedanta philosophy, which is the philosophy of non-duality. And so when we are looking at the purpose of life, part of the spiritual evolutionary path, which is being influenced by this rulership of Venus, is saying that your path is the path of Vedanta, which is the path of non-duality, which is the path which has no extreme. And this is even stronger dharmic lesson for the Libra Lagna, because the Libra karma is to find balance and harmony through counterbalancing opposite and opposing forces. Venus wants you to be in balance and harmony with your body, mind, and spirit. Venus wants you to be in balance and harmony with your friends, with your family, with stranger. Venus wants you to be in balance and harmony with all the plants on this earth, Mother Earth. Venus wants you to be in balance and harmony with all of the animal, not just cat, dog, also all wild animal. Venus wants you to be in balance and harmony with all of the Navagraha, the 9 major planets. And actually, Jyotish was handed down to us from Brigu, a descendant of Shukra. So when we are looking at this purpose in life, it's harmony, it's balance, it's non-duality, it's to not be extreme, it's to not be dualistic in your life. And usually this shows that the path for this energy is called the golden path, it's called the middle path, which means it is not extreme, it is not duality. A good example that I like to use to describe this energy is Venus would like you to be able to have one glass of really high quality wine on a Friday evening. On one side of the duality, you have someone who drinks wine in the morning the entire day. We call this the alcoholic. On the other side of the duality, you have someone who never drink alcohol because they think it is tamasic and they think it is negative, and so they do not even have the smallest amount of this. Both of these examples is extreme. Both of these examples is duality. Venus wants you to be able to enjoy life, all of the finer things, all of the beautiful things of life, but it has to be able to enjoy them in a refined, in a sophisticated, in a moderate way. So again, there's so many aspects of your pending karma and the purpose of your life, but just to talk a little bit about your purpose as it relates to Venus and this path which has no duality, the path of the Vedanta. Thank you, Abhijit.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I hope the person, the native, is happy with the answer that he has received. Well, two things I'll put in the community. Someone asked what is called has asked what about community. Well, our channel has a community where we put up the questions well before time and requested everyone to give their date of birth with the questions. Those who had given there, we are taking only those questions today. Any question that is coming in chat, we are not taking up until unless it's a super chat, because that is as per YouTube guidelines. Okay, now coming back, next time you all kindly put in your questions, and if you are subscribed to our channel, you will know what is the community, and so put down the questions there, because it was specifically for our own subscribers and community, this program. Okay, Kshitij is present. So we go back to the question. Well, Amit Ramani, you are not present or present, please clarify. Abhijit Dhar, your question is taken.
Varunji, after next question, can we take a 2-minute break?
Sure, sir. Sure. Umesh Giri, please confirm. No. Kshitij More, sir, yes, he has confirmed he is present. Kshitij More. Okay, so it's question number, chart number 30. Okay, birth date is in 1996. Okay, quite young. Mumbai. He is depressed with life. Currently, he wants to know about his career and life partner, and whether he will get a matured life partner, or will his love be converted into marriage and sustain?
Oh, you're such
quite serious question.
Yeah, and this.
But why you feel that your marriage will not sustain? It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
Sir, your kind advice.
Thank you. Yes, I immediately feel you're a very sweet soul, very sweet and loving soul. Your Cancer Lagna karma is to show sympathy, empathy, and caring to those that you love. And then that on top of having 3 of the Navagraha in your 7th house of marriage, Mercury retrograde, Sun, and Mars. But all of these planets are in Capricorn. Capricorn represent adversity. I always say with Capricorn, the grass is greener on the other side. So even though there are challenges, even though there are obstacles, even though there is adversity, when you overcome those challenges, obstacles, and adversity, the reward is waiting on the other side. So not as much indication that your marriage will not be successful. It's just that there will be work. And every marriage is work. Actually, that's what marriage is. It's work because it's two people which must grow to be the best partners for each other for their entire lifetime. The sun is in the seventh house. That's the soul's direction. That's the soul's fulfillment, which means if you do not get married, your soul will not be fulfilled. This is showing, and Mars showed intense desire, intense actions towards the marriage. In other words, marriage is a huge part of your soul's evolution. It's a huge part of your fulfillment, not just because of Cancer Lagna, but because you have all of these Graha in seventh house, including Surya. And so, yes, you will certainly, and you are in Moon Dasha. However, the Moon Dasha does not indicate marriage for you. Although it might, but not in this current subdasha of the Ketu. Much more likely, actually, when the sun gets activated, you go through Moon Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha in 2020 March. Then you go through Mars Mahadasha, which is in your seventh house of marriage. Perhaps that you will think your marriage will be difficult because you have Mars in seventh house, but Mars is exalted. That means that even though there will be much intensity to the marriage, there will be much growth. The partner actually help your career. The partner actually help your success. This shows that your partner will be very powerful. Partner will be someone you will look up to. But again, the K2 period, not necessarily signifying that this is the time for you. That might start more after Venus, or might even be stronger and indicate the marriage in 2020 during the Sun Antardashas. Possibly proposal during the Sun Antardasha, though, and then marriage in the beginning of the Mars Dasha. But basically, when that period starts, it inclinate a lot more energy towards marriage. When we're looking at your career house is ruled by Mars. Mars Mahadasha, which start until 2020. You're currently in Moon Dasha, but Moon is in sixth house, which is wage, which is work, which we do. In other words, you're making money at this time potentially, but it's not your career. It's not your life purpose. That get activated during Mars Dasha. So there's this strong indication for you that this period for you is about making money, but you're working towards your life purpose and career. You're not necessarily manifesting your career life purpose energies now. It's something which is to come. But when Aries is in the house of career, this could show a strong position of someone who gets things done, someone who accomplishes tasks, a high position of authority, a high position of leadership. But none of this is being hyperactivated right now. There's something to be said about the possibility of marriage activating more success in the career because you have the exalted Mars in the seventh house. But yes, you do not have to worry about that the marriage will sustain. Your devotional nature, it will find its way towards a partner. And it will be extremely fulfilling for you because there's a huge amount of the soul's fulfillment in this area of marriage. I would just say at least be patient until this summer because the Venus period, it indicates dating. And then more of the soulmate energy gets activated in 2020. So even though I know in India dating is not as big as it is here in America, but this means going to park with member of the opposite sex. One of my teachers, Dr. Vasant Lad, his family wouldn't allow him to date. So he would go for coffee with his wife. He would go for a walk in the park. He would go for puja with his wife. So there's ways of dating even when it's not particularly supported in your environment. Thank you, Kshiti.
Great, sir. So you wanted a 2 minutes break, right, sir?
Yes, that'd be fantastic.
Sure, sir. You go for a 2 minutes break. I'll speak with my subscribers and make them patient.
Thank you. First thing I want to say is I want to thank everyone who is part of this event for sending in all of these wonderful questions. Varunji for holding this event, all of the amazing work his does Sunil John for his devotion to Jyotish and the organization Saptarishis Astrology. I'm just feeling so much gratitude for everyone here who made this possible. And I just want to give deep pranams and gratitude from the center of my heart. And I will
But
be
we will be
right
back in 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. So keep watching. Meanwhile, I'll just tell you all something. Fine. First is the community. We go to YouTube. I'll show you. I hope I can share the screen and show you. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Share screen. Here we are. So what we do is we basically go to YouTube. We go to view channel. This basically you will find when it comes. I hope you all can see. Let me check it out on the other laptop. Okay. See, this is the Saptarishis Astrology channel. Over here, there is an option called community. See, I will annotate it so that you can understand those who have missed out today. This is the place where you need to go. Community. Right? And then click on the community. See, this is the place where we had requested everyone to post their charts. This is the post we did today. That hi all friends and all loving subscribers. This is a reminder for those who posted charts. Many missed out. Fair enough. This is the place. See, this is the place where we had actually requested everyone to post. This post was on 28th or 27th we posted it, and we gave time 31st. And if you can see, there have been a lot of comments still now coming under review, which we will not, like Anita Saini, you have posted the question right now 5 minutes back, and you are asking us to take your question. Anita ji, there are 137 people before you. How can I jump the queue? If I go by the normal posts, normal comments, if I go, there are 159 comments, I'll show you. And this is it. I'll sort it by the oldest first. And it was Sunita Chetwani who posted her first comment, and we took her chart as number 1. She was not present. Right now she has come back. We will take. Lata Bagri, we called her name. Anna W, we called. I'll just show you from here that see, we are going it by default. Aditya Kaushik did not post anything. Bhavi Gondadia, we called his name. Vivek Singh, we called, we took his question. Maushmi Das, we took. Swati Soni, we asked. Mukesh Sharma, we asked. Vicky Das, we took. Pushpinder Singh Bhatti, we took. So it is as per the community we are doing it. Now, the next thing. Maybe we will be doing this session for another 15-20 more minutes because it's already 11:30. It's getting too late for people, for our subscribers. Though tomorrow is a Saturday, but many need to go to office. It's a year end for Saturday. So, the deal is on this video, comment section, just put in, sir, our details were there in the community, question was missed or not taken or we were not present. Kindly take the question.
Namaste.
Hi sir, just give me a second more sir please.
Of course.
Sir, just give me 1 more second please.
My pleasure.
So my request to you all will be on the comment section of this video. If you have missed your question, we are apologetic. We will be back with Ksanati sir again maybe in a week or 10 days time. Do not put your question if it is already been put in the comment section. Just mention the name and say that our name was there, question was not taken. We will take it up. Fresh questions, please put it in the community section. If it comes under the time frame, we will take, but we will not give you commitment on those fresh questions that will be put forward. We will try, but those commitment will not give. But those who have already posted before 31st of March, we will take their questions. If not today, next day. But do put in the comment section so we have the details and we check it up whether it has been taken today or not. Coming back. So who is there? Which chart should we go next? So we were in chart number. Sir, do you have any idea which chart we were in, which chart number?
31.
Okay, 31. Great, sir. Great. Great. I'll just go to 31.
Sai Prabhakar.
Kshitej More was over. Okay, so do we have Sai Prabhakar with us? Sai Prabhakar, are you with us? Could you please confirm? No. I'll go to the next. Okay, Mukesh Kumar had asked a single question. Let's take it.
My
Sir,
favorite.
how to select gemstones? Question number 32. How to select gemstones?
My favorite. One of my favorite questions. I love gemstone therapy. Right now, I have here, this is for 10th house. I have Scorpio, Mercury, and Sun. So Mars, Coral, Emerald, Ruby. Then here I have a yellow sapphire. Then I have Saturn and Rahu. This strong love of gemstone therapy. There are so many different theory on the prescription of gemstone therapy. One of my favorite ways that I have been explained that gemstone therapy works is by one of my guru, Dr. Vasant Lad from Pune. Dr. Vasant Lad used to say that the gemstone contain the same frequency as planet. For example, blue sapphire contains frequency of Saturn. Yellow sapphire contain frequency of Jupiter. Hessonite contain frequency of Rahu. And when that planet's energy is going on you, it affects your Ayurvedic dosha in a challenging way. But if you are wearing gemstone, then the energy from that planet actually go through gemstone. This means that it protects you from the malefic influence of the planet. So there are many different theories. Some theories that say you would never wear gemstone for a malefic planet because that is going to empower malefic planet. But according to Dr. Vasant Lad, who I honor and respect with all of my heart, he believed that when you wear gemstone of that planet, it protects you from the negative karmic and Ayurvedic influence of that planet, because that become receptacle, because the gemstone become receiving point. The gemstone become receiving point for that planetary energy. My basic theory along those lines then, I still believe that when we wear gemstone of a planet which is functionally malefic or malefic in its nature, it can increase the inauspicious effect, but I don't believe that means that you should not wear gemstone. On the left side of the body is the passive channel. On the right side of the body is the active channel. So I believe that when you wear gemstones on the right side of the body, it activates the active channel. And what this does, it increases the overall power of the planet. So when you wear gem on right hand or dominant hand, but also right hand, But it makes even more sense if it's dominant, because it has to do with what side of you is dominant, what side is active, what side is passive. And when you wear gemstone on dominant side of your body, it increased the overall bala of that planet in your chart. So you have to work with the auspicious effects, but you also have to work with some of the challenging or inauspicious effects. You are increasing the bala of that planet. But because the left side of the body is the passive channel, I think that it's not as strong to wear gemstones on the inactive, not dominant side of the body. It's not as strong, but I believe that it reduces the malefic or inauspicious effect and doesn't increase the overall energy. So when you're wearing a gemstone on the left side or the passive side of your body, I believe that that will reduce negative effect of that planet, but not increase overall Shadbala. So for example, I have a yellow sapphire on my left hand. The reason that I wear yellow sapphire on my left hand is because my Jupiter is in retrograde condition. And I don't want to make Jupiter stronger necessarily. Jupiter is already very strong, except the retrograde cause inauspicious effects. So by wearing yellow sapphire on my left side, I am trying to remove retrograde condition of Jupiter. So this is my my consciousness around gemstone therapy, and I think that it's not necessarily there is right or wrong interpretation of gemstone therapy, but I love gemstones working so much that just because the planet is malefic or inauspicious doesn't mean that you cannot work with that gemstone. Perhaps you want to wear it on the passive side of the body, so you're not increasing the overall energy of that planet. But I don't think gemstone therapy is something for us to be afraid of.
That's a great, great, great way of explaining gemstones, sir. Okay. Suviral Vishnoy, are you present? Suviral Vishnoy, are you present? I don't see you. Okay, coming to the next is Ankur Biswas. Chart number 34, sir. Chart number 34.
Great.
He is from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. He is jobless for quite some time. Preferred time period when he may get a job.
Okay, it's a nice, easy, quick question. Namaste, Encore, and welcome. K2 Lugna in debilitation. I believe that when K2 enters Taurus, it goes into debilitation. This is because Taurus is sign which represent materiality, but K2 represent moksha karaka. So it shows a real disconnection from the material world. It can show great material success. That material success is getting in the way of the spiritual evolution. And that's why there can be a debilitation. Also, we're looking at Saturn in 10th house of career, which is strong in a Mula Trikona sign of Aquarius. So we are looking at Shanaish Chirayas, long delay in the career. Also Gulaka, which doesn't allow your ego to grow as it relates to your career. Even though Saturn and Mercury are friends, though, so there's positive side. Mercury happy in Aquarius in conjunct with the Saturn there. It's not like they're unhappy in their position. It just brings some challenges. As you mentioned, there has been some jobless energy right now for you. You're in Sun Mahadasha, which is in the 9th house of spiritual evolution. This is a time period of dharma. This is a time period of success. This is a time period of spiritual evolution. So there's a great amount propensity now that is emphasizing your life towards more spiritual aims versus material. And that's something which is very encouraged in your chart anyway. But your sun is in Capricorn. Your Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Your Venus is in Capricorn. So triple planet conjunction there. And they're all within 11 degrees of each other. So you're looking at a very intense energy in your career because the 10th sign has to do with career. So there is a great amount of influence here, which is saying success for your career. However, we're looking at a Saturn activation in the 10th house for the most positive recognition of your career, because Saturn is a planet which delay, but it does not deny. So there is heavy delay from Saturn, but when that Saturn goes through activated, I imagine there will be some growth in your career. Even though you have Sun Jupiter in the 6th house, though. So when that Sun Rahu is definitely not indicating successful period for your career. But the Sun Rahu end in a month and a half, and you will go into Sun Jupiter. Also, you're having Jupiter return right now, and when you go into Sun Jupiter, then this will activate your 6th house. So you might not be doing a job, which is your career. You might not be doing a job, which is your career purpose. But I bet you may start making some money. You start doing something where you make, I don't know, $10 per hour, maybe $7 to $10 per hour. But there does indicate some work as soon as May 13, this period of work. However, the career manifestation, the ultimate evolution in your career, well, that's going to be activated by Saturn and Mercury, your 10th house significators, which doesn't start until January of 2019. So even though you might have some type of job you're earning money from, it's not necessarily your career evolution until 2019, 2020.
That's really great, sir. That's really great. That's what we call as honest reading of a chart. Okay, coming to the second last question for the day, because it's already very late, 11:30 in the night. I will again, for all our subscribers, tell you, when you go to our YouTube channel, you have a bell icon. Please press the bell icon so you get notifications. That is very important. And over there, you will find out something written as community. Community. I have already shown it in the video how to go about it. Just check that out when you listen to this video once more. When you go to the community section, you will find questions over there, or recent activities over there, and you can put in the questions. As far as those who have already given their questions and has not been taken today or has got missed, I request you all to put it in the comment section of this video, just giving 2 details. Sir, this is the name through which we have put in the question. Our question has been missed. Request, please take it on the next session. That's it. If you have not given birth details, many questions we have not taken on purpose, where you have just given birth details and said, please analyze chart. Sorry. We will only take particular questions related to the chart, because it's a free session and everyone should get a chance. Everyone. A holistic chart reading takes more than 30 minutes minimum.
Yeah.
So please.
I like about 2.5 hours for a reading.
Absolutely. So if one reading 2.5 hours, others will lag off. Because you will to understand that when my chart is getting read, I am the most interested person, but others may get bored of.
Exactly.
Not everyone is an astrological student.
And this is great because we are looking at so many different charts, and we are looking at so many different karmas, that we are understanding. Right. We are understanding how astrology works outside of the bias of just our own chart.
Absolutely, sir. Okay. Ajit Khosla, are you present? Ajit Khosla, are you present? Fly Butterfly 15, are you present? Fly Butterfly 15, are you present? Okay, Johnny T, you have thanked Ksanati sir. You have taken a personal reading from him. You are happy with his reading. We are honored. We are honored.
Who's that?
Johnny T.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, that person may have taken up a private reading from you, sir.
Nice.
Well, next webinar, when it is planned, we will plan it with Ksanati sir, taking his appointments and engagements in view. We will be doing it pretty soon. Pretty soon. Okay, coming to fly butterfly. Blessed George, are you present? Blessed George. Blessed George, are you present? Garima Mishra, are you present? Garima Mishra, are you present? Ashish Goel, are you present? Ashish Goel, are you present? Okay, Blessed George. Okay. Blessed George is present. I'm so sorry. Mine is going so somewhere. There is a delay. Thank you, Rajipu. You have been a great guy who have helped me so much. I'm sorry your number has not come. Please put it in the comment section. We'll ensure you to take your chart next time as chart number 1.
Yeah.
I promise you. Rajipu, you have been an angel for us. Thank you, Rajipu. I'm sorry your number did not come till now. Please put in your details. We will get back to you in the next webinar as number 1 chart because you have been a blessing. You have helped us so much. Okay, so coming to Blessed George, sir, this person is from a place in Kerala, Oyur, Oyyoor. You have the chart, it's chart number 37, and he wants to know about the career.
Yeah. So, namaste. Thank you for this query. First thing we notice is Aquarius Lugna, rulership of Saturn, and Saturn's posited itself in the 10th house of career. Saturn is retrograde in Scorpio, which is an enemy position. So the ruler of the chart is in an enemy position in the 10th house. That means, again, there will be a great expansion and success in the career, but you're looking at a challenging karma in which Saturn will put delays. Saturn will put obstacles. Saturn will put certain adversities into the process of finding your career. Also, Scorpio is very investigative. So this shows that your process towards your career is an investigative process. That means you are to be curious about what your career is, and you are to try to seek that curiosity. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that you have 3 planets in 2nd house. This is Artha house. This is house of wealth. Rahu, Venus, and Jupiter. This is the house of foods. So whenever I see Venus in the house of food, I think that, okay, don't forget that you could be a good chef. Don't forget that you could be a good cook. That is one possibility here as well. Not necessarily the strongest possibility, but because Rahu is in the 2nd house, there can be uncertainty about the future. There can be worry about money. There could be worry about the financial future. When we're looking at the indication for career here, we want to look at the Saturn and Scorpio. So Scorpio career indicates that there could be 2 options. One is medical. We're talking about something which is a healing or medical practice, allopathy, Ayurveda, something of some healing nature. And then the second energy is that the Scorpio represents the esoteric, the occult, the mystical. So it could be astrology, it could be different philosophy, it could be shamanism. So it shows a unique interest, not necessarily what everyone else follows. Maybe your curiosity as your career is in something that is a minority. It is in something that is outside the box. And again, 2 indications by Saturn in the 10th house could indicate success in a field of engineering or mechanic work. It could also indicate success in the government position, potentially working in politics. So there's lots of different possibilities and potentials for your career here. Some of them are more spiritual, mystical, esoteric in their nature, like Ayurveda, astrology, and then there's this other aspect, which is politics and engineering. But because of the Saturn retrograde period, there's a delay on this energy, but you already went through your Saturn Mahadasha. So it's not like there isn't an experience of your career. There is. It's just there's more evolution to happen in. But because you've already gone through your Saturn Mahadasha, it is beneficial that you have already established some relationship to the idea of career. You can expect huge increases in your career growth, as well as possibly raise or more income when your second house or your 10th house becomes activated. First activation I see is November 13, 2019. You will go through a Venus activation. This will support you financially in the second house. Also, your Venus is exalted. So we're looking at a great propensity of November at the end of next year for a huge financial growth. It's just that the K2 period, which is coming before then, which is at the end of this year, is in the 8th house, which is a moksha house. And it's about letting things go. So the period which you are going into shortly, it's not necessarily emphasizing your career as much as spirituality, transformation. Thank you, George.
That's great. That's great. I hope the question has been answered threadbare. Okay, the final question for today is the first person who had posted the chart but was not present. She waited for it. Now her chart. So it's chart number 1.
Great.
Sunita Chetwani from Ulhasnagar, 1968. It has been 2 years since she had lost job, no source of income. Your guidance.
Yes. Thank you for your patience, Sunita. I'm happy to look into this question with you. I am sorry that it has been a couple years since you have lost job. Some of these energies which are showing up in your chart indicate trouble and challenge in that area. A few things which I am noticing strongly is that you have 5 different graha in the second house of wealth. Whenever there is such amount of concentration of graha in one house, it shows that a majority of the karma, a majority of the lessons, a majority of the energy falls into the second house of income, falls into the second house of wealth. Jupiter is not happy in Virgo. K2 is not happy in Virgo. Mars is not happy in Virgo. So all of the planets here are facing enemy position here. All of the planets here are potentially in a position of mild debilitation. That means the overall earnings at certain times of the life are going to be compromised. The overall earnings at certain times of the life are going to be very challenged. And with K2, there's a lot of unpredictability. One moment you have job, then perhaps you lost it. Perhaps it makes it hard, a lot of uncertainty in the future, because K2 is like chaos. So as far as help, as far as remedy, you're currently in your sun Mahadasha, and your sun is in the 4th house. Your sun is in the 8th sign of Scorpio, and you have Saturn retrograde and Rahu in the 8th house. Your 4th house is a moksha house. Your 8th house is a moksha house. With so much energy in the second house, there is a huge amount of fulfillment for you as far as wealth, as far as your ability to have comfortable income, the ability to provide yourself, the ability to provide for others. But then the activation of the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house, all of which are moksha houses, indicate that there is this strong energy here. You also have the yoga because your ruler of your 12th house is positioned in your 12th house. So this is extremely strong Bijaprit, yoga. So when you're looking at this energy here, you're looking at someone who has a great amount of fulfillment in their evolution in terms of income, but has to do with a lot of moksha and has to deal with a lot of moksha, which means not getting what you want, letting go of your attachments, letting go of your desires. And there's strong inclination in your chart that those desires can be material. But it's not just like you want material for no reason, just so you can survive, just so you can feel comfortable, just so you can be happy. We all deserve that. But there is just such a strong duality in your chart with all of these planets in the second house, but then the activation of the moksha houses 4, 8, and 12, showing that there's a lot of letting go and not attachment to your desires and you things that you want. However, this Venus sub-period does activate your 6th house. Even though your Venus is in Capricorn, the 6th house has to do with work. So believe it or not, I do imagine that you will have some type of income, not necessarily job, because the 6th house doesn't necessarily mean career, but we're talking about a wage. You should at least be earning money on an hourly rate by the end of this year. But in general, the chart suggests so much emphasis on moksha in your life, focusing on family, focusing on spiritual liberation, and attempting to let go of the material desire. Again, we're human beings. This is really hard. But the chart here heavily emphasizes a prioritization of moksha.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Okay, we will be closing the session for today because, as you know, it has already been near to 3 hours, 2 hours 15 minutes, and we are surviving on cups of coffee, nothing else. And frankly, I did not have time to again go and refill it. Okay, now let's be serious. Those who have already posted in the community section, please listen carefully. Those who have already posted in the community section, but their questions were not taken up today or got missed, or they were not present at the time when we called their names, I request you all to put in the details into the comment section of this video after the video gets uploaded, which may take another 30 to 40 minutes from now. You can post it tomorrow also. We will compile them. We'll send it to Ksanati sir. We will have a mutual time frame, and the same will be announced in the Facebook, into the YouTube forums, and you all can join us. Your questions will be answered. Second thing, if your questions are answered and you are happy, kindly please give us the feedback also. It makes us feel happy that yes, our hard work has paid off.
Yes.
Do thank Ksanati sir. He has been kind. He had to cancel his appointments to make this a thumbs up gesture for you all.
Thank you so much.
Third, and the most important thing, if you are interested to join us in hosting this type of events or taking interviews of great astrologers, unknown people, in the comment section, please put in your email IDs. We will get in touch with you. We want you all to come up. We want new faces like you all to come up. And once again, I thank specifically all my subscribers and specifically that single person who had across the time of 3 hours waited for his question. His question did not come up. Still, he continued helping us. And his name, well, there were many, no doubt about it. But Rajipu had been really helpful. Thank you, Rajipu.
Thank you.
We are honored. Please put in your details where you put in the comment section we missed. Next time we will take your chart first. It's my promise. So from Team Astrology, Saptarishis Astrology channel, from Sunil Johnson, my guru, my mentor, I call it a day by thanking Ksanati sir for his great time for his great predictions and for being with us. Ksanati sir.
Thank you, Varunji. I'd like to give special thanks also to Sunil John and whole team of subscribers here at Saptarishis Astrology, everyone who attend our live video session, everyone who patiently wait for their questions to be answered. Don't worry if your question hasn't been answered. Varunji and I will come back to answer your question again. And again, I can always be contacted privately as well. Any interest in any questions, my email is kshanatijotish@gmail. My website is judishastrology.org, and I am always available and accessible for all my friends and clients. So again, I'd like to just give a special thanks to Varun, Sunil, and the whole team at Saptarishis Astrology for making this possible. And many, many blessings to the Mahadeva Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya.
Sarvam Namah Shivaya. You have been a blessings for us. You have been a blessings for our subscribers. Your selfless service to this community, we really thank you from the core of our heart. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we'll close the session. Please put in your comments, and you know what to do. Those who doesn't know where the community is, it's in the Saptarishis channel. There is a tag called community. If you have the notifications on, then only we'll get the notifications for community, where we put in details what we are going to do next. Thank you. From Sunil John, from Saptarishis Team Astrology, we thank you for being with us. Thank you, Ksanati sir. Thank you. Sir, I'll stop the live share.